Carter, what is it like where you are, and what's the reaction from people who live there?
Well, you know, the reaction from people who live here is they want to go home. Even if their homes are like this, they want to come back and see what's left. I mean, as you can see, there really isn't much left. These homes burned to the ground entirely. The only thing you can see standing over here to your left is the garage door on this home. As far as the latest with this fire, well, they had some more mandatory evacuation orders last night. 3,000 people in Santa Rosa were ordered to leave their homes. You see, right now, there's not a breath of wind where I am, and this is the way it's been for the last couple of days. Last night, it was a little different. Around midnight or so, the wind picked up, and it really kicked up this fire again, started driving it back toward a portion of Santa Rosa. That's when they got all these people out of their homes, but it is not a situation like it was earlier this week when people only had minutes to escape.
Yeah, it was tough to see those pictures there. Carter, another big question. How long do officials expect these fires to continue for, and when are they saying we could see an end?
I think it's really going to depend on the weather. And today is a big, important day, and here's why. If the wind stays calm here right now for the rest of the day, they're going to be able to make some headway. That place where it broke out, a couple hundred acres right now, they're going to be able to get around that. And that's what they need right now, to be able to get that containment line around the fire, both cutting the vegetation away and also bringing a hose around it too, so you've got a wet line there and you can put out any hot spots that come up. That's what they're working on. The Tubbs fire, one of the biggest one here, is 25% contained right now. So they are making headway. All of that can change, though, in a heartbeat with the wind, so it's really going to depend on the weather. And what we have in the forecast is some windy weather, but we've had that in the forecast the last couple of days, and it hasn't really materialized as much as they had expected, so we're hoping for the best.
And Carter, for the past couple of days, we've been hearing about a large number of people that are still unaccounted for. How much hope is there?
There's still a lot of hope, I think. I think there's hope that there is confusion in those numbers. There is hope that maybe someone is staying with a friend and hasn't gotten in touch with someone in that way, and that they're going to be able to find more names or cross more names off the list in that way. But right now, what they're doing is a targeted search. So let's say they cross-check a name on the list. They're not hearing from that person. They check with the family members. Okay, well, now they go, well, where were they last seen? Let's go to that address. Let's bring a cadaver dog. Let's check it out. And that's what they're doing.
All right, what about a cause for the fires?
Sorry, I missed that question.
What about a cause? Do we know what may have caused these fires yet?
Oh, cause. We do know this. It's going to be very hard to determine a cause, and here's why. You know, for instance, when you look at this home here, imagine if you were trying to determine exactly where the fire started in this home. Everything is burned. So firefighters would have to go through the rubble, and they'd have to look for the area that was burned the most and try and determine that. That's what they've got to do on these fires now, but we're talking about thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of acres. So what they're doing is they're looking for the obvious things, power lines. We know it was very windy on Sunday night. In fact, I've seen video out there of power lines blowing in the wind and crossing and sparking. Firefighters had told me that did start several spot fires in the area. So that's one potential thing they're looking at. And in fact, regulators have asked all the public utilities around here, the phone companies, the power companies, to hold on to anything that may be suspicious. A burned telephone pole, for instance, or maybe some conductors on a power line that were burned. That's something they're going to want to investigate. The problem is when you've got rubble like this everywhere, a lot of your evidence has already been burned, so you've got to look for other clues.
Just devastating to watch. I can only imagine what it's like just to live through it. Carter Evans in Santa Rosa, California. Carter, thank you.
Sure.